Hello watch fans, this is Anders here on Watch On channel. Today the full review of a new watch, actually the latest purchase I made. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell. It is a big help. I'm getting closer and closer to one of my goals, which is 25,000 subscribers. So thank you a lot to all of you who have already subscribed to my channel. So what we have here is a new Yema watch, the French brand. This is a step up in quality from what they usually do in my opinion, and this is a watch I purchased myself after I reviewed the prototype version of this watch. It comes in this travel pouch in a black cardboard box, but inside you find this nice leather travel pouch here, travel case, which is really nice. And opening the leather box here, we find the watch. This is the brand new Yema Superman 500. This is a new version of the very famous and legendary 60s diver, the Superman, but the Superman 500 is a big step upwards in quality, and you also get 500 meters of water resistance. And here the Yema Superman 500 is out of the box. As I said before, I did review the prototype of this watch. If you want to see that review, you can click the link up in the right hand corner or down in the description. So I really like the prototype, so I decided to pre-order one of the limited editions of this watch. Now it's not limited, so you can just go on Yema's website and buy this watch. I will leave a link down below. Again, this is not a sponsored review. This is my own private Yema Superman 500 because I was very happy about the overall quality, fit and feel and heritage of this watch. So this is the blue version. This is the version that they call the mysterious blue. It's a very dark blue, almost black when you see it here in the studio lights here. When we see it in very strong lighting, both natural and artificial lighting, you will see, as you can see on your screen now, it is actually blue, but it's a very dark blue. I really like this mysterious blue because you get a very toned down blue. It's not very strong, and this just makes this watch a little more anonymous, a little more classic to wear without a very strong vibrant blue. You can also buy it in a regular black if you want. It also comes in a 39 and a 41mm size, and you can buy it on a rubber strap, on a leather strap, or on this steel bracelet. So what we see here is a typical heritage vintage inspired dive watch. You see very simple, no date. It is powered by the Yema 2000 in-house movement. And as you see now, it is within the tolerances of what Yema they promise with this movement, between plus or minus 10 seconds per day, which is perfectly fine. It is a high beat movement with 28,800 vibrations per hour, and it has a power reserve of 42 hours. You also see the amplitude is very good and a very low beat error, so this is a very healthy and strong movement I got inside of my Yema. You also see we have these kind of printed, very vintage inspired hour markings, with a triangle at 12 o'clock, then sticks at 3, 6, and 9, and then circular markings in between. Also, we have lume-filled hands, the typical Yema kind of shovel style second hand, and also this typical arrow style, as you see here, minute hand, and the little baton style hour hand. And the lume, which is Swiss Super Lume Minova, is very strong. I'm very happy with the lume in this watch. You can also see that it actually is very reactive. It's very strong, even in lower light situations. The size is 39mm with this one. Then you get 48.1mm lock tip to lock tip. The good thing is you get female end links with the bracelet, so it will wear its true size. You don't get these kind of male end links adding additional millimeters to the lock to lock distance. Then we have a height of 13.4mm. When you see it a little later in this review on my wrist, you will see it wears very slim, although it's more than 13mm thick. And then we have an annoying lock width of 19mm. And let's just address the lock width here. As you see, we get these long locks, just like, for example, on the Longines Skin Diver. This was very typical for the era of the 60s, and the 60s is what inspired this watch. You see the long locks. This means when you actually put in a leather strap here, you have a lot of space between the case and the leather strap, and it looks awkward to me. So I definitely prefer the bracelet, which is fitted to the case and looks really good. Top quality bracelet. And you also see we get drilled lock holes. So I think the finish of the case is a step up from the other 3 Yema watches I have owned, and I did review a couple of other Yema watches. I owned some divers and a GMT watch, and they were all brushed. I really was criticizing the case because it was just simply too lazy to have these kind of harshly brushed cases. Now they are all polished, and I think that looks a lot better. It becomes smudged very easily, but it looks a lot better. Then the upper part with the bezel, and then the very domed, distorted sapphire crystal. I actually like the overall look of this sapphire crystal. It kind of reminds me of the acrylic crystals of the 60s because you have this really nice distortion, but it is very legible, as you see on your screen now, in strong sunlight and in different lighting situations. So it's always easy to actually read the time on this watch. Also really like the bezel insert here, 120 clicks. So you unscrew the crown and then you have this typical and patented bezel protector here. Very nice action, no play whatsoever, so sturdy and so nice and gliding. This is also a step up from what I have experienced with other Yema dive watches, so they really just took it to another level with this one, and that is why I bought it, because I think this is what Yema is supposed to be, this really nice quality entry-level luxury French brand. Buttery smooth winding of the Yema 2000 in-house movement, and so easy to thread back. This reminds me a lot of the Oris crowns, but even better than the Oris crowns. So this is a really nice big crown, very vintage inspired, and you see we get these very also old school looking crown guards here to protect the crown. With the crown screwed out, and it is a 500 meter water resistant dive watch, you actually still have 30 meters of water resistance, which is a new invention that Yema did. So even with the crown unscrewed and you want to adjust the bezel while in water, if you're at the surface or just below the surface of the water line, then you can actually just unscrew the crown and you will not destroy anything inside of the watch. And of course also the case back. I really like the Yema logo. I think it looks great, and I really like, as you can see here, how they actually made this kind of chrome, the color of the stainless steel here. You also see 500 meters water resistance, and you see this is number 23 out of only 200 examples of the limited editions. The watch is priced at $1,249 US. You can very easily get 10% discount and even more discounts. So don't be alarmed. You should be able, if you're a bit lucky with discounts, signing up to newsletters, stuff like that, to actually get this watch at around $1,000 US, or just look at the pre-owned market in a month or 2 or 3. Then you'll definitely be able to find this watch cheaper. As I said before, I think the case and the case finish is a step up from what I've experienced with Yema watches before, so that's a huge plus. Also, this Yema 5-piece bracelet here is really nice. You see a nice taper. It's very flexible, wears really nicely. It is push pins, a bit annoying, but it's quite easy to actually adjust. And then you get the clasp, signed Yema, a bit on the cheap side. I think the clasp is definitely something to improve a lot from Yema, because it's a very simple kind of friction-based clasp here. Everything is quality, no stamped metal, milled metal, signed Yema and all of that. And it's strong and secure with a fold over here, but still kind of cheap on a watch that is priced at more than $1,000 US. The good thing is you get 4 micro adjust here. And as you see, also these half links, so I was able to find the perfect fit for my wrist. And of course the weight. Let's see. I did remove a few links. 127 grams, so definitely not a heavy watch. And before I try the watch on my wrist, just a little mention about the dial, because I think it's really cool that they kept the writing down, the printing down on this dial. Just a Yema logo below 12 o'clock. Here you see Superman logo, Yema Superman, automatic, 500 meters in red, which is also really nice touch with the 500 meters in red, and then France below 6 o'clock. And on my 17.5 centimeter wrist circumference, the Yema Superman 500, the 39mm version, wears perfectly. You see we get quite long locks, so a little more than 48mm from lock tip to lock tip, but it wears perfectly. I think it's the perfect size for me. It wears very true to a 39mm. So if you prefer your watches in 39 or 40 millimeters, this is definitely the choice for you. If you prefer it more towards 42 or 43, you should go for the 41 millimeter version. So all in all, I am of course very happy with this watch. I think it lives up to what I experienced with the prototype, and I think overall it's a nice quality dive watch. It does have its problems. I know that Yema, they have kind of a bad reputation. There's talk about bad customer service. There's also talk about the watches being assembled in China. I have absolutely no problem with watches being assembled in China because China can produce a lot of quality, but it is an in-house French movement. It is a French brand, a very proud French brand, and I got top quality. So I can definitely recommend this watch if you are looking for something very different than the typical Longines, Tag Heuer, maybe even Tudor or Oris vintage-inspired dive watches. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you very soon again. Thank you, bye.